people, aboriginal people, aboriginal people, aboriginal people, aboriginal people, aboriginal people, aboriginal people, people, aboriginal people, aboriginal people. Aboriginal people, 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 people, aboriginal people, aboriginal people. Aboriginal people, 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 people, aboriginal people, aboriginal people. Aboriginal people, 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 people, aboriginal people, aboriginal people. Aboriginal people, 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 people, aboriginal people, aboriginal people. Aboriginal people, 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 people, aboriginal people, aboriginal people.
Give us free. Give us free.
Your Honor, please instruct the defendant that he cannot disrupt these proceedings with such outbursts.
Give us free. Give us free.
If we are to have any semblance of order in this court,
Give us
Peace, unity, and welcome my conscious and unconscious family and friends. This is the all-new Black Village Community Podcast, and I am truly your host of the show, JC, aka Afro Black, dropping nothing but the raw and uncut, without any fear, as I use my mic as a spear to chucker you with liberated truth. I am your host and your native soldier in the struggle. My purpose and mission for this show is first to enlighten, inform, and engage. And I want to engage with all who claim to know the truth. All truth seekers and my native family, I welcome you. This show is dedicated to all our indigenous native ancestors and to all those who've carried the mantle of truth, and to every person with the ability to throw off the chains of comfortable habit and unwarranted assumption and move in a new, liberated direction that is guided by truth and observational evidence, no matter where that direction may lead you. My main objective and purpose here is freedom, mind, soul, and spirit. That being said, welcome to the Black Village Community Podcast, and much love from our great universal goddess and mother of all, living here and above.
AC in the house.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white aborigine. Rather, aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine. You want to be called an American.
You go to a reservation, you see poverty, you see churches, and you see liquor stores. When you go to any hood, you see poverty, you see churches, and you see liquor stores. So what make you think you're not on a reservation? Right? So all these achievements that we ascribe to African Americans, these are achievements by Native Americans who had to take on the identity of being African American because they was hanging us.
This means, in the case of an American Negro, it comes as a great shock to discover that Gary Cooper killing off the Indians when you were rooting for Gary Cooper, that the Indians were you, that the Indians were you, that the Indians were you, that the Indians...
But you think they was hanging people because they was Africans. Africans just want to go home. Nigga from here want to take his shit over. But you think they was hanging people because they was Africans. Africans just want to go home. Nigga from here want to take his shit over, want to take his shit over.
Our forefathers weren't the Pilgrims. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. The rock was landed on us. The rock was landed on us. The rock was landed on us. The rock was landed on us.
Freedom, 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 freedom. This is how we ride and roll. Soldier for life for sure. Freedom, 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 freedom. This is how we ride and roll. This is how we ride and roll. Soldier for life for sure.
Hey, people. Oh, let me turn this down. Hey, people. You've tuned in You have tuned in to the Black Village Roundtable Talks, and I am JC, aka Afro Black, your host with the most, here to share nothing but indigenous, aboriginal, American aboriginal, you feel me? Indian, indigenous truth, you feel me? With my people, with the community, you feel me? With my family, you feel me? And I'm gonna let everybody know I'm a little tired, I'm a little exhausted. So bear with me. I pushed in here. I almost didn't make it because just over this past weekend, you feel me? I had my son's graduation, barbecue I put together, and then my wife just went back to work, and she, she has to be at work at, between 4 and 5 in the morning. I'm the one that takes her to work, and so I'm a little exhausted. You feel me? I'm trying to recover. I'm still trying to recoup. You feel me? So. It's all gravy and potatoes, but I am here. You feel me? And I got information. I want to continue the subject matter I had going on the week before last. You feel me? That subject matter is, in today's podcast topic is titled, and I quote, "The Power of Clan Mothers." You feel me? Again, part 2. The power of clan mothers and the genocide of a people. That is today's podcast topic. Part 2 from the week before last. You feel me? I'm going to continue this. And it's an important subject matter to me. And the reason why is because you don't have a family. The family cannot exist without the mother, without the centerpiece, without the regenerator, without the life giver, without the bearer of humanity. You feel me? The mama. You feel me? The most important centerpiece of humanity, the mother. You feel me? Every woman, every man, every child, every boy, even every grandparent who remembers their parent. Everybody has that yearning for the love of a mother. You feel me? The nurturing of a mother, the wisdom of a mother, the guidance of a mother, the insight of a mother, the healing, the healing power of a mother. You feel me? And you know what? A lot of young people can't even vibe on what I'm talking about right now. You know why? Because you don't see that today. If you get any of that today, it's in entertainment, it's in Hollywood, it's on television, it's on the big screen. That's where they're talking about it. You don't see it in the family like something like I can remember from back in the 1950s and the 1960s. You feel me? Something I used to hear from my parents and my grandparents who talked about their parents. You feel me? That love, that dedication, that family unity, that wisdom, that insight. You feel me? When your mama can feel like something is wrong and you don't want to talk about it, and you know what, she knows you don't want to talk about it, so she got her way of reaching out to you, encouraging you, showing you that she loves you and that she's there for you. That I'm pretty sure you got people that get that, but that used to be a prominent thing in the so-called black family. You feel me? I say so-called because we're not black. Again, people, I'm always reminded here on the so-called Black Village. Why I say this is called the Black Village? This is called the Black Village not because this identifies with me as an Indian. No, black does not clarify, does not signify, does not classify who I am. No, black don't do that. No, this is called the Black Village because this is a platform for everybody to come together and talk. Talk on issues that affect us, that is affecting us. And I'm going to tell you something that's affecting us right now. Having a real, and I'm talking about having something like this everywhere. Clan mother. Women walking in the ancestral customs, traditions, values, and principles of the clan mother. But you have to know what that is, because that's not taught in the schools. It has not been taught in the schools. It's never been taught in the schools. In the school system that was established by Eurocentric people, that's not a part of the school system. So you know what? Our average young brother and sister today don't even know what a clan mother is or who a clan mother is. And so that's why I want to talk about this situation. That's why I want to talk about this subject matter. That's why I believe it's something important. You know what? I'm going to tell you something that anybody who can relate to, if you want to find out what a clan mother was and is in reference to us as what they call as so-called black people. I'm going to tell you. Big Mama. Let me see if I can I mean, Big Mama. You feel me? Big Mama. I mean,
Big Mama was talking to somebody. She said, "Girl, you know, I went to the store. I got 2 tomatoes, some
it's not being heard. I was gonna try to.
Lettuce. No, you didn't, Big Mama. You got
there we go.
Like I said, you when I got the motherfucker, she should knock the paws in your motherfucking ass." You know. You
Big
got
Mama.
your ass whooped, so you couldn't even talk.
Big
Big
Mama,
Mama was talking to grown folks. Remember that?
Huh?
Big Mama was talking.
We've
to
lost
you
her.
hit the shit what they
And
call
so I
the
want to talk
fuck
about
up.
her.
The shit what they call the fuck up.
Look, so let me, you know, I got some information I want to share. I want to read about the real Big Mama, the clan mother. The clan mother that was here before Europeans came here. The clan mothers that were here after Europeans came here and colonized. The clan mother today that you see in the church. They call her, now they call her the mother of the church, who used to be the mother of the community, the mother of the tribe, the mother not only of her family, but the mother of even the next tribal family. Why? Because back then, families considered themselves connected to one another, no matter how large the Cherokee was. And the Cherokee was made up of 14 tribes. You know, they tell you today 7 tribes, but originally the Cherokee was made up originally of 14 tribes. And those tribes were large. That's why the Cherokee became a nation. Not just, and I'm only using the Cherokee as an example because I'm a Blue Holly Band Cherokee. You feel me? But even the Choctaw, or even the Natchez, or even the Caddo, or even the Alabama, the Dallas, it doesn't matter, the Onondaga, or even or the Ojibwa, it doesn't matter how large the tribe was, or it doesn't matter if it was a different tribe that was affiliated with another tribe. They considered one another family. And it was the mother who who exemplified and who disseminated these values and principles within the family. It was the responsibility of every mother, every grandmother, every great grandmother, every auntie, every aunt, every great aunt, every sister, every potential wedded wife. It was their responsibility to make sure information like that was disseminated and was taught to the children, and that everybody knew what was going on. You feel me? Today you don't see, it's not going on like that. Women, we've been taught, we've been Eurocentric and assimilated. This is the reason why this podcast topic is titled The Power of the Clan Mothers and the Genocide of a People. Because see, whenever people don't know who they are, whenever people don't care about who they are, whenever people can't share their culture, which represents who they are, whenever people don't even know to represent and to dress, don't even recognize that your culture represents who you are. So you'll dress, the way you talk, the way you eat, the way you speak, even sometimes the way you walk and where you sit represents who you are and representing your cultural identity. We don't have that today in the so-called black community. Why? Because the so-called black community has taken on the term black and African as an identity, and they're trying to create something out of something that has no foundation. So let's talk about the strength of the clan mother. You feel me? Because I want you to know, Big Mama, who is the clan mother, who is the matriarch, the indigenous American Aboriginal matriarch, Big Mama, the clan mother. You feel me? Let's talk about her. Let me put some information up I want to share with you guys. Okay. Let me first, I think I need to go back over some of the information that I was reading yesterday. So let me go on over here right here and let you guys see some of this right here. Okay. Turn this down about right here. Alrighty now. So, Again, the podcast topic, the power of clan mothers. And let me tell you something that caught my attention. The week before last, I talked about how whenever these people, and I say these people, I'm talking about the people who run the system of America, the people who runs the so-called political system within America, whenever they want to cultivate and they want to shape our mindset into what they want it to be, who you think they have out there speaking for us? A lot of these African educated leaders, okay? And the week before last, I talked about, let me see this sister, where's she at right here? Where's this? Let me see, I hope I didn't, let me show this, the African sister, where's she at right here? Here she is right here. Okay, let me put this, there she is. This African sister right here, Alexandra Okiki, wins a 2013 Undergraduate Research Award for her analysis of the mindset of the so-called black woman. Mind you, they're talking about the American Aboriginal woman over here. Okay, so look. I read some of this last week. I'm gonna reiterate a little bit this, and I'm gonna further my discussion on the power of the clan mother. Let me read this just this second paragraph right here. I am happy I was taken seriously, Okiki said. When she received the award, her impressive paper connects historical views of black American bodies by white medical professionals with the goal of understanding why black women aren't inclined towards mental health care. Okiki questions why there is a distrust of medical institutions in black communities while identifying the stereotypical controlling image of the strong black woman. I'd never heard of anyone talk about this topic ever, she said. This is what she said. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is the reason why I know this woman is African. Not only because of her last name, Okiki, but also because of her statement right there. The statement that she said, I had never heard anyone talk about this topic ever. The topic of American so-called black women having a distrust for the medical industry. How can she have never heard of that? How can she be an American and not have never heard of that? Unless she's not from America, okay? Now, let me read a little bit of what she wrote, okay? Here we go, okay? Let's go to a little bit of her. Let me go back over here. Here it is, right here. What she won an award for. Okay, now let me say something. The fact that she's African, okay? She is still indigenous to Africa, okay? And due to the fact that she's indigenous to Africa, she should be able to relate. Even to relate to indigenous, she should be able to relate as a so-called African woman. I'm saying so-called because even the term African is an artificial construct, okay, by Eurocentric controllers, all right? But be the fact that she's from that locality, okay, that region, that continent that they call Africa. Be the fact that she's indigenous and a woman of melanated color, she should be able to relate to indigenous so-called black American women here in America. She should be able to relate. But be the fact that she says she's never even heard of the topic before, that's why I know she's not from here. The question I'm saying is that why these Europeans are always using African educators to educate us? Huh? Why are they always using African educators to analyze us or analyze our people? Huh? Okay, so let me read what she wrote. Let me read to you what she won an award on. Okay, here is a paragraph from her so-called paperwork that she did on the mind of so-called black women in America. Okay, for black women, the issue of stereotype has been a factor affecting the use of medical care and support. Let me read that again. For black women, the issue of stereotype has been a factor affecting use of medical care and support, especially for mental illness. Black women with mental illness may not be treating their mental illness issues, but instead masking them. historical medical experimentation, distrust of medical institutions, the trope of the strong black woman, which operates uniquely to black communities, stresses the need for culturally inclusive mental health care. Do you hear that? This is her analyst. This is Mrs. Alexandria Okiki's, her examination and her perspective of analyzing indigenous American black women. This is her perspective. This of what she believes is a need for the so-called American black woman in America, the indigenous American black woman. Okay, so let me read it again. Let me finish it up. It's almost done. What caught my attention again is this part. Historical medical experimentation, distrust of medical institutions, the trope of the strong black woman, which operates uniquely to black communities, stresses the need for cultural inclusive mental health care. This research also has implications for mental health initiatives and public policy imperatives in other communities of color. This project explores the history of medical experimentation on African Americans, the resulting distrust of medical institutions, and the stereotype of black women that may affect the cultural views of mental illness. Now, I'm going to tell you my problem again with this issue, okay? The fact is that they're allowing other people from another locality, from another culture, from another ethnic group to come over here and to judge, analyze, pick apart our mind from their perspective and put it back together. That's my problem with that. When it should be us repairing us. It should be our women, our clan mothers, our clan sisters, our clan aunts, our clan grandmothers, our clan women should be the ones that should be healing our community, healing our people. But you know what? Look what they've done to us today. Look what have they done to us. Now you go into the so-called black community, there is no trust. I can remember a time when I was a little boy, and this was just in the 60s. If you did something bad up the street, and Mr. Thompson, I'm talking about indigenous brother Mr. Thompson, American Aboriginal brother Mr. Thompson, saw you, when you got home, your parents already knew about it. And if you didn't get your butt whooped by Mr. Thompson, and then you got your butt whooped again when you got home. But see, that was a trust that the community once had. That was a trust and a tradition that was already enveloped in the indigenous people, where we had a trust from each other. Just like back in the 1960s and the 1970s and the 1980s, when brothers could look at each other, don't even know each other, and can just gesture to one another with a head nod. And you know the head nod their brother back and let you know, what's happening, brother? What's happening, brother? That's just, it's a vibe. You feel me? That's an indigenous vibe, an indigenous tradition. You feel me? But see, you know what? We've lost that. Why? Because now we got fear in our communities. Now we got distrust for one another in our communities. Why? Because we've become more and more Eurocentric. We've become more and more like our colonizers. Of course, with our flavor and with our flair and with our style, but we still, the basic core of our mindset when it comes to bad and good, when it comes to making judgments, when it comes to tradition and customs, when it comes to character, and when it comes to also molding our own character first and looking inward first, we've lost that. Why? Because you know what? We don't have those traditions. Those traditions are not in a Eurocentric society. Those traditions are not in a Eurocentric system. No. What they give us is what they want to give us to make us in the way they want us to be made. You feel me? We have to go back, what? To our ancestral customs. And it's going to take the women to revitalize. Excuse me. It's going to take the women to revitalize, to revamp those values. What values? The values of loving your brother and your sister as yourself. Realizing what you do to your brother, you do to yourself. You feel me? If you think them are just biblical or Eurocentric philosophical ideologies, you're wrong. And I want you to know, with indigenous people, what I just spoke, realizing what you do to your brother, you do to yourself, it goes way deeper than that. traditionally, customarily, it goes way deep, and spiritually, it goes way deeper than that. You know why we only can see the surface? Because we've been taught and trained in a Eurocentric society to only see things from the surface. Huh? Have you ever heard the term superficial? White people walk, talk, live, act superficial. Now we're doing the same thing because they've taught us to do it. They teach us through their television. They teach us through their music. They teach us through their educational system. And they teach us in the environment that they've created for themselves. I say for themselves because you know what? They also create one for us. That's why it's called the ghetto. That's why it's called the urban community. You feel me? They created that. We didn't create that, because if we were allowed to create it, we would have been allowed to keep our indigenous American Indian customs, traditions, and principles, and our women would have been able to practice and reverberate that throughout the community. You feel me? So let's go to what it is to be a clan mother, okay? Let's go to, I got a book I want to read from. This book is titled, as you see, The Woman's Dictionary, Symbols, and Sacred Objects. Now, what this book is a dictionary, as it says. It's a dictionary, but it's a dictionary of indigenous ancient, you feel me, giving you definitions of symbols and signs and customs and breaking it down, you feel me? So I got something I want to read in here that I thought was very pertinent to the discussion of clan mothers. Okay? Nature. Starting off right here, this is a symbol, and right here what you see is the symbol for nature, universal symbol for nature. Okay, now let me go to the next one. I want to read this paragraph. Now, why am I reading this, and what does this have to do with clan mothers? Now, originally, our indigenous ancestors, this is written down in their writings, this is written down and passed down through their oral traditions, that it was the mother's responsibility to keep hold and record the traditions and customs of the tribe, of the family, of the clan. It was the clan mother's responsibility, every woman's responsibility to record, keep hold of, and pass these customs, traditions, principles down to every woman, every child, in every family. You feel me? And as a result, the women's responsibility were also to keep the traditional records of agriculture. It was the women's responsibility to keep the records of the advancement of indigenous agriculture, because the women are the ones that did the planting every season. It was the women, the mothers, the clan mothers, the young sisters, the daughters, the aunts, the females, the indigenous females that did the yearly planting. Not just corn, but yearly planting of vegetation and fruits and vegetables, period, seasonal. The women did that, not the men. The men helped in the tilling the ground. The men helped in harvesting, but it was the women that did all the planting. It was the women who had the control of the seeds. And it was the women that were used as metaphorically as a symbol of the earth, Mother Earth. And the women were considered images, the physical images of Mother Earth. Just as earth produces life, women produce life. Just as earth gives us what we need, the mother gives you what you need when you're little. The breast milk, teachings, love, nurturing. Women were used, and women were the physical and image of nature itself. So let me read this right quick. Back to the book, okay? Now, it starts off, human beings live with nature in a state of somewhat uneasy dependence, okay? Subject to her whims like small children of moody mercurial mother. Nature is life itself, but she is disturbingly unpredictable. It is hardly unsurprising that human eyes have so constantly followed nature's movement in a nervous blend of hope and fear, always trying to foresee what she will do next. Remember, referring to nature as what? A female, as mother. People have always longed to know whether the crops will flourish, when the volcano will erupt, how to bring rain in a dry spell, how to avert sickness, where to find riches, when to perform when to perform which ceremonies, and so on. Neither is it surprising that man has expended so much effort on trying to conquer and control Mother Nature. Just as the child tries to control the mother to its own advantage, man's accomplishment in this area have a way of backfiring on him. Just when he thinks nature is subdued, he turns and presents a new problem created by his own lack of foresight in solving the old one. If man has trouble in living with nature, he certainly cannot live without her. Man is the child who never grows up. Nature is the mother on whom he depends forever. That is why human beings have personified nature as an internal mother. One might even say that the feelings any person has about nature has significantly shaped by the feelings elicited by his or her own mother. Human beings always try to translate what they want to control into symbols so as to manipulate the symbols and then believe, rightly or wrongly, that this means manipulating reality. Let me read that again. Human beings always try to translate what they want to control into symbols so as to manipulate the symbols and then believe, rightly or wrongly, that this means manipulating reality. Therefore, symbols have been invented for almost all aspects of nature that are perceptible to the ordinary human sense. To some extent, the power of these symbols reside in our own perception of our complete dependence on the natural qualities and conditions of our own planet. And remember, the planet is a symbol and a representation, always have been and still is today, of a mother, a female deity, or a female perspective. You feel me? Right here, what you see right here, this is a clan mother, Onondaga clan mother. And she's a traditional clan mother, okay? So check out what she says. She says, when the clan mother is nominating a chief, she has to talk with him about the responsibility. We say, this is what she says. She said, we say you can't think about just your family or your household anymore. You have to think about the whole clan as your family. When a chief's decision is made, it's just as given that the clan mother have had their input. In other words, she influences the chief's decision. Let me read that again because I stumble over my words. When a chief's decision is made, it's just as given that the clan mother have had their input. In other words, she had something to do with his decision making. Every chief, a chief don't make a decision without the clan mother's input. So let me go on to the next one. Another picture of a clan mother. Let me say something. If somebody's watching this and say, you know what, these don't look like my clan mothers in my family. These look like somebody, I'm pretty sure somebody's saying that look like a Mongolian or a Mongoloid Indian clan mother. Look like the clan mother from my neighborhood. Well, look, what do you think that these Europeans did? They did a cultural reversal. They gave our culture to the Native Americans. They gave our culture to whitewashed Indians. Huh? And as a result, the original clan mother lost her culture and did the best she can do. The last time I saw Big Mama, which is the original clan mother, was in the 1950s and 60s. Last time I saw Big Mama, the original clan mother, she was in a movie called Chicken Soup or Soul Food. You feel me? Matter of fact, now you see her, you're looking at her through the eyes of what's his name? What's that man's name? Medea. Huh? What's his name? The guy who does Medea. Huh? Says there's three of the important women in his life. That's who Medea represents: his grandmother, his mother, and his auntie. You feel me? You got a lot of brothers out there who turn around and say, oh, that man, he's gay and woo woo. But you know what? He tells you who Medea represents. She represents a strong clan mother that represented positivity in his life. You feel me? She might have came off negative to other people, but the people in the family understood her motives, understood the meaning of her words, understood what she meant when she said something, and they knew she meant what she said. When she said, she meant what she was saying. You feel me? Now today, you got these mothers say something, and you don't know what the hell they mean, because they don't know what the hell they mean half the times. We got to get back. Now, you might say, well, the Medea don't represent an Indian clan mother. No, she don't. She is the essence of what was left over. When you take away a woman's, when you take away a mother's, when you take away a grandmother's. I'm talking about going all the way back to the time of the 17th and 16th century when these colonizers came over here and they were creating laws as they were making streets and coming into our communities, creating their own laws, creating their own way of life. And then telling our people they couldn't practice their way of life. They couldn't speak their language. They couldn't dress the way they want, their traditional dress in the same communities that they've always known as their homeland. Do you feel me? When you take that away and then you tell them now you got to talk like an American, basically saying you got to talk like a European. When they take and say, no, you can't dress like that no more. Take your headband off. Start braiding your hair like that. No. So look, it wasn't until just recently, that indigenous sisters were able to wear their hair the way they want to in the job place because the white man was controlling the way women were wearing their hair. And even the indigenous brothers had to cut their hair off. They've been controlling the way we dress, the way we eat since they came over here. And as a result, we've lost our way, people. We've lost our way, starting with our clan mothers. Because the clan mothers, even the big mamas of the 1950s, 1940s, 1960s, kept the love, kept the tradition, kept the togetherness, kept the family loyalty there. You feel me? Made you remember where your loyalty lies with your family, where your love lies with your family. You feel me? We've lost that today. That's why they say there's more so-called black American children in the foster care system. Why? Not just because women are not taking care of their children, not just because women are strung out on drugs and a lot of women are prostituted and all these other negative things that has happened to our indigenous sisters, but also because the culture has been stripped away. The culture, the principles, the customs that our women once knew, once carried, once perpetuated, once disseminated in the communities, to the children, to every man, every child, old and young, walking and living and even producing food in our own communities, healing our own children. That's been lost, people. We can get that back, but it's going to take women caring. It's going to take sisters realizing who they are and stop walking and talking like the white man want them to. You feel me? Let me go on over. I got some more information I want to show. You feel me? I got some more information. I got some more information I want to read that talks about the power of the clan, because I really ain't did nothing yet. Let me read this right here. Yeah, check this out right here. Now I want you to know this right here comes from, let me show you where this comes from. I'm just going to put this up right here and let you see this right here. I mean, no, not that. There you go. Here you go, right here. What is this called? This is titled The Iroquois Great Law of Peace and the United States Constitution, How the Founding Fathers Ignored the Clan Mothers. Do you hear that? Now, where did this come from? Anybody can go find this. You can get this yourself. American Indian Law Review. This is taken from the American Indian Law Review. And as you see what it's titled. You see what it's called. The Iroquois Great Law of Peace and the United States Constitution. And the United States Constitution. How the Founding Fathers Ignored the Clan Mothers. Now, which Founding Fathers are they talking about when they say the Founding Fathers ignored the Clan Mothers? Who are they talking about, people? Let me show you how important these clan mothers were. Let me show you right here. Okay, here we go right here. All right, here we go, right? Let me read this right here. I'm going to start right here, people. Okay? All right, no, how about I'm going to start right. No, let me go down some. All right, I'm going to start right here. All right, check this out. Let me go up some right here. Start here. All right, it reads like this, all right? The Clan Mothers is talking about the Iroquois Confederacy. And I want you to know, it doesn't matter, even though the Iroquois Confederacy was a large confederacy of Mohawk, Mohegan, the Cherokee, Ojibwa, a lot of tribes were part of the Confederacy. But you had also other tribes that had their own confederacy, all right? And I want you to know, again, 80 to 90% of the woodland Aboriginal Indians were matrilocal, matrifocal, matrilineal, matriarchal centered. It was about let me read this, all right? Check this out. It says the Clan Mothers are the most respected members. Do you hear that? The Clan Mothers are the most respected members and hold the highest positions of authority. You wonder why our sisters are strong? You wonder why our sisters fight for power? You wonder why? I'm going to tell you, look, it's in them. It's in their genes. It's in their DNA. It's in their spirit. Why? Because our women have always been strong. Our women have always, look, I'm going to read that again. The Clan Mothers are the most respected members and hold the highest position of authority, leading the matrilineal clan. Did you hear that? Huh? Did you hear that? They are chosen by other adult women in the clan. Men have nothing to do with choosing the Clan Mothers, but the Clan Mothers choose the men to be chiefs. Did you hear that? I'm going to say it again. Did you just hear? I just read it. It just said they are chosen by other adult women in the clan. The Clan Mothers select the Sockham or chiefs to serve on the Council of Clans. The women, the Clan Mothers, chose the chiefs, but the chiefs don't have nothing to do with the choosing of the Clan Mothers. The Clan Mothers are chosen by specific Clan Mothers. Let me read that again. It says it. The Clan Mothers are the most respected members and hold the highest position of authority. That means the chiefs ain't got more power, didn't have more power than the Clan Mothers. Did you hear me, people? That means the chief did not have more power than the Clan. The Clan Mothers had more power than the chief. Let me read it again. The Clan Mothers are the most respected members and hold the highest positions of authority, leading the matrilineal clan. They are chosen by other adult women in the clan, not men, other women. But the Clan Mothers select the Sockhams, or chiefs, to serve on the Council of Clans. While the Clan Mothers have the constitutional authority to dispose chiefs, Sockhams, to get rid of them, or literally to dishonor the Sockham / chief, no constitutional provision exists for the removal of a Clan Mother. Did you hear that? I'm going to say it again. No constitutional provision exists for the removal of a Clan Mother. Upon the death, now it kind of reminds me of what what we have in this country on the system of government that we have, how the president, he said, it just says that there was no provision to remove a Clan Mother. Nobody can remove a Clan Mother. It was only women who could place a Clan Mother. The men had nothing to do with the placing, with the position, with the authority and the provisions of a Clan Mother. You heard it says that the Clan Mother are the most respected members and hold the highest position of authority. What happened, people? You don't see nothing like that in these Native American communities today. You don't see nothing like that in Native American, that the women held the highest authority in the communities. The women held the highest authority even when it came to the political affairs in the community. Because in the Clan Mothers were even over the political affairs of the community. Look, they chose the chiefs, and they could fire the chiefs. So let me go down some more. Let me read some more of this. Okay? Let me go on down some more. Okay, check this out. Talking about government. Talking about our, see, you got to realize, too many people, when they think about government, they think about this government, But you got to realize this government is a corrupt model of our indigenous government. You got to remember, see, the great law of peace is what put together the U.S. Constitution. You feel me? So let me read some of this. Look at this right here. The governmental structure of the Confederacy is marked by a system of delegated authority that flows upward through the system to the leagues of council of clans rather than downward. And the, and even share liberty and responsibility of all members. Okay, let me go down here. I'm trying to get to the, okay. Let me go above that a little bit. Let me go, okay, I went too far above. Let me go back above that. The clan mother is then responsible for distributing the dead Sockum's property. The women not qualified to be clan mothers might be delegated as matrons. Okay, I don't want to read all that. Let me go down some more. Okay, here we go, right here. Here we go, right here. This is where the political part. This is where I want to show you. All right, right here. Here we go. The social and political status of women in the Confederacy. The powerful status of women pervaded Iroquois society. According to the Great Law, clan mothers selected and confirmed the Iroquois Sockums and war chiefs. Clan mothers held the hereditary lines of title to the chiefdoms, to the chieftainship. In other words, you couldn't be a chief without going through a clan mother's initiation. Without going through a clan mother, period, you couldn't be chief. And mind you, Iroquois clans had more than one chief. You had the chief of the community and you had the war chief, the chief of the war tribe. They had two chiefs. And it was the clan mothers that validated any man being any chief in any position of any tribe in any community, or even a war chief for that matter, had to be validated by the clan mothers. Let me go on right here. Okay. All right. It says, according to the Great Law of Peace, okay, the council itself selected listen here. The council itself selected some pine tree chiefs on the basis of merit in order that those Unitarian families not represented by hereditary chieftainships were not excluded. Some families joined with their families in order to be represented, historically, upon the death of a Sockum. Okay. He was succeeded not by his son. Okay, I don't want to go into all that. I'm going to go back to the power of clan mothers again. Let me go down some more right here. Okay. Not only were the clan mothers of each extended family responsible for holding title to a chieftainship, they monitored the chiefs, the Sockums. They say mind you, the word Sockum means chief. Okay. The women, the clan mothers had the responsibility of monitoring the chief's conduct closely and would warn a Sockum to abide by the great law. If he appeared, he was not proceeding with the welfare of the people in mind. After 3 warnings by the clan mother who nominated him, a Sockum would be removed. The white wampum belt that indicated the hereditary name of the Sockum were kept by the women, and the women were solely responsible for communicating the history of the nation to the children. Did you hear that? The women were responsible for all this, even responsible for making sure that chief acted and behaved as a chief. The women were responsible for this, not the men. See, that's why I'm saying it's important to bring back our clan mothers. Do you feel me? Let me go back to this. The clan mothers, going down to back to the next paragraph. The clan mothers also had great influence with the warriors. Women could support or disprove the wisdom of a war party by providing or withholding moccasins, charred corn, pounded into meal, sweetened with maple sugar. They would basically, they told, look, if the women said don't go, you didn't go. Or they would do something, they would make your things very uncomfortable for you. That's the power of a clan mother. Okay? I mean, now the question is, the week before last, I raised that question, and I'm going to raise it again. So let me get out of talking about some of the history of the clan mother. I want to talk about something else. What happened to the clan mother? Where did she go? Why is she not with us today? Let me change my music right here and give us something more laid back to vibrate on while I talk about this.
Okay, here we go. All right, now. What happened to the clan mother? Where did she go? Huh? Why did she leave? Why is she not with us anymore? Okay? How did she, I mean, we know a part of the removal of the clan mother was stripping the woman of her culture. And if anybody have heard of the Willie Lynch letters, if anybody have read the Willie Lynch letters, most people read it. See, most people read the Willie Lynch letters under the influence of the people narrating the story or reading the letter itself, under the influence of the person who's reading the. But if you read the Willie Lynch letters yourself, that whole divisive ideology of controlling a slave is about controlling a woman. It's about controlling a woman. Because if you control the woman, you control the children. If you actually remember, the Willie Lynch letter says to beat the man in front of the women and the children. What? Putting fear in what? In the woman and the children. Beat the man to death if necessary. But make that woman your pleasure. It was about breaking the woman down. Why? Because every man who comes into this existence comes through what? A woman. Is raised by a woman. Is loved by a woman. By a mother. Do you feel me? So who is the key to culture? Who is the key to life? Who is the key to peace? Who is the key to existence? You know who that is. You know what, yeah, and you know what I'm alluding to. So let me go. I got some more. I want to show you guys over yonder right here. Let me go back over here. Okay, right here. I want to read something. This is something I put together as I was doing my research. Okay, and let me go back over here. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know where my music go. Okay, here we go. Put that back right there. All right, now. There's three main things that I believe that was done. That I believe that was meticulously done to the clan mother to make sure she never recover as a clan mother. They used religion to oppress the woman, to destroy our clan mothers. They used religion, taking away their own cultural spirituality. And also they used their own environment, their own laws through assimilation and cultural genocide. What is assimilation and culture? Basically changing your culture for another people's culture, getting us to live a European way of life, which we live today, and which genocides your own culture. That's secondly. And thirdly, the third thing they did to destroy the image, to destroy the character, to destroy the culture of the clan mother, is they demonized her through false characterization. They destroyed her character, basically. What is that? By giving a negative connotation to the term strong black woman. There's nothing wrong with a strong black woman. There's everything good to have a good, strong black woman. The thing about it, what is the true definition of a strong black woman? Excuse me, number one, she's not black. You got to get rid of that. Because black doesn't define who she is. She has to be an American Aboriginal woman, a strong American Aboriginal woman. Why? Because that title in itself tells you who she is, and it tells you what she represents. What the hell does a black woman, what does that title represent? What does it tell you? What tells you? Nothing. The etymology of the word black tells you it means nothing. People, we got to first realize that the first thing that our mothers teach us, the first thing that our mothers, our birth mother teaches us as she nurtures and rears us as children growing up, is to say positive things, to say good things, not to say bad things. And embracing a false classification, a false status, an artificial construct as an identity is a way of destroying yourself and genociding your culture. So that's what they did. Now let me prove my point that they demonized the clan mother. They demonized the indigenous Aboriginal woman and put her in a class of negativity. So when you hear strong black woman, the first thing you think is something negative about a so-called black woman. So let me prove this. They did this going way back. Let me play. Let me see. Let me play. Let me do this. Let me see. Males. All right. Let me do this right here. This one right here. Okay. Check this out. All right. Negative racial stereotypes and their effects on attitude towards African Americans. Mind, we dodged the hijack. We're not African. Okay. Negative racial stereotypes and their effect on attitudes towards so-called African Americans. All right. Negative racial stereotypes and their effect. Okay, now let me go down here to this paragraph right here. Check it out. Now, this is by Laura Green, Virginia Commonwealth University. As human beings, we naturally evaluate everything we come into contact with. We especially try to gain insight and direction from our evaluation of other people. Stereotypes are cognitive structure that contains the perceiver's knowledge, belief, and expectations about human groups. These cognitive constructs are often created out of a kernel of truth and then distorted beyond reality. Racial stereotypes are constructed beliefs that all members of the same race share characteristics. These attributed characteristics are usually negative. This paper will identify 7 historical racial stereotypes of so-called African Americans and demonstrate that many of these distorted images still exist in society today. Additionally, strategies for intervention and implications for exploration into racial stereotypes will be presented. Okay? Description of the problem. That's the title of this. The racial stereotype of early American history had a significant role in shaping attitudes towards so-called African Americans during that time. Images of Sambo, Jim Crow, the Savage, Mammy, Aunt Jemima, Sapphire, and Jezebel may not be as powerful today, yet they are still alive. Okay, let me go down now. Here's these, as you see right here, Sambo, and then she's gonna go into the description and how it came about, the history of it. Okay, so I'm not gonna go to Sambo. Let me go on down to, you know what? Let me start. I'm gonna read all of them. One of the most enduring stereotypes, excuse me. Okay. One of the most enduring stereotypes in American history is that of Sambo. Okay. This pervasive image of a simple-minded, docile black man dates back to at least as far as the colonization of America. The Sambo stereotype flourished during the reign of slavery in the United States. In fact, the notion of the happy slave is the core of the Sambo character. White slave owners modeled African American males as a whole into the image of a jolly, overgrown child who was happy to serve his master. However, the Sambo was seen as naturally lazy and therefore relying upon his masters for direction. In this way, the institution of slavery was justified. Bishop Whipple, Southern Diary, 1834 to 1844, is evidence of this justification of slavery. They seem as happy race of being, and if you do not know, you would never imagine that they were slaves. This is something that this pastor wrote, this so-called pastor by the name of Bishop Whipple's Southern Diary from 1834 to 1844. Let me read it again. Okay, it reads again. They seem as happy race as beings. And if you did not know it, you would never imagine that they were slaves. Okay. However, it was not only slave owners who adopted the Sambo stereotype. Although Sambo was born out of defense of slavery, it extended far beyond these bounds. It is essential to realize that the vast scope that the vast scope of this stereotype, it was transmitted through music, titles, lyrics, folk sayings, literature, children's stories, and games, postcards, restaurant names, menus, and thousands of artifacts. White women, men, and children across this country embrace the image of the fat, wide-eyed, grinny black man. Okay, let me go down. I want to go into how they were destroying the Klan mother, okay, the image of the Klan mother. Okay, let me go down Jim Crow. Let me go down. Here we go. The Savage. Let me go down here to the Savage. Movies were and still are a powerful medium for the transmission of stereotypes. Early silent movies such as The Wooing and Wedding of a Coon in 1904, The Slave in 1905, the Sambo series in 1909 to 1911, The Nigger in 1915, offered existing stereotypes through the fascinating new medium. The premiere of Birth of a Nation during the Reconstruction period of 1915 marked the change in emphasis from the happy Sambo and the pretentious and inept Jim Crow stereotypes to that of the savage. In this D.W. Griffith film, the Ku Klux Klan tames the terrifying savage African American through lynching. Following emancipation, the image of the threatening brute from the dark continent was revitalized. Acts of racial violence were justified and encouraged. Let me go on down. Okay. Back down to here. Here we go. Mammy. Okay. The mammy stereotype is what I want to talk about right here. Okay. All right, here we go, right here. There were 4 stereotypes for females. Okay, check it out. There were 4 stereotypes for female so-called African Americans: the Mammy, Aunt Jemima, Sapphire, and Jezebel. The most enduring of these is the Mammy. Although this stereotype originated in the South, it eventually permeated every region, as with the Sambo. The Mammy stereotype arose in justification of slavery. And here we go. The Mammy was a large, independent woman with pitch black skin and shining white teeth. She wore a draped calico dress and headscarf and lived to serve her master and mistress. The Mammy understood the value of the white lifestyle. The stereotype suggested that she raised the mass of children and loved them dearly, even more than her own. Her tendency to give advice to her mistress was seen as a harmless and humorous. Although she treated whites with respect, the Mammy was a tyrant in her own family. She dominated her children and husband, the Sambo, with her temper. This image of the Mammy as the controller of the so-called African American male was used as further evidence of this inferiority to whites. See, there we go, right there. Now this right here, you see this they say this goes all the way back as well. Let me read it again. The Mammy was a large. Let me see. Let me go. It goes up. Let me scroll up here. Let me see. Does it go into the history of the Mammy? Does it go into the history of the Mammy? Okay. I'm not seeing it. Okay, Larry. But it does says that the Mammy was a large independent woman with pitch black skin, shining white teeth. She wore a drape, a calico, and headscarf, and lived to serve her master and mistress. The Mammy understood the values of the white lifestyle. The stereotype suggests that she raised the master's children and loved them dearly, even more than her own. Her tendency to give advice to her mistress was seen as harmless and humorous. Although she treated whites with respect, the Mammy was a tyrant in her own family. She dominated her children and husband, the Sambo, with her temper. This image of the Mammy as the controller of the so-called African American male was used as further evidence of his inferiority to whites. Basically using a woman to beat down the so-called black man, aka the original American Indian. Using this false image, using this artificial construct of an image, and they still do it today. That, like you say, it still traces of her today under the undertones of when they say strong black woman. You feel me? That negative connotation that comes along with it. That's that mammy artificial construct image that they did to our clan mothers. Okay, let me finish reading the next paragraph. The mammy stereotype was presented to the public in literature and movies. Possibly the most outstanding example is the mammy role played by Hattie McDaniel in Gone with the Wind. In the book published in 1936 by Margaret Mitchell, helped to keep the mythical past of the so-called African American in the Old South alive. The large number of people whose attitudes were shaped by this portrayal is demonstrated through through its phenomenal sales record. The Bible is the only book that rivals Gone with the Wind in total sales. Additionally, the movie's version remains one of the biggest box office successes in history. Mitchell's character simultaneously won the hearts of Americans and fixed the stereotype of the so-called African American in their minds. You feel me? See again? Using things, look, to what? To reshape people's mindset, to reshape people's the way they view themselves. And you know, and when you take away their culture, when you take away their language, when you take away those people's ethnic cultural principles, customary practices, which speaks to everything about who they are as a people, there you go. Then you reshape them with something like this. You reshape it with an artificial construct of mammy. You feel me? Now look, here's the Aunt Jemima stereotype. The stereotype of Aunt Jemima evolved out of the mammy image. She differs from mammy in that her duties were restricted to cooking. It was through Aunt Jemima that the association of the so-called Black American woman with domestic work, especially cooking, became fixed in the minds of society. As a result, hundreds of Aunt Jemima collectibles found their way into the American kitchen. These so-called black collectibles included groceries list holders, salt and pepper shakers, spoon holders, stove top sets, flour scoops, spatulas, mixing bowls, match holders, teapots, hot pad holders, and much more. Perhaps Aunt Jemima's most famous image is in the pancake advertisement campaign, which was in St. Joseph, Missouri. In 1889, Chris Rutt chose Aunt Jemima as the name for his new self-rising pancake mix because it was just naturally made. It just naturally made me to think of good cooking. Obviously, others agreed because the campaign was an instant success. Rutt sold his company to Davis Milling Company, which chose Nancy Green as Aunt Jemima product spokesperson. This character developed a loyal following of both so-called blacks and whites. To these people, Aunt Jemima had become reality. Her face still can be found on the pancake boxes today. Although her image has changed slightly, the stereotype still lives on. Not only that, that company made millions and still making millions today and has made millions since as it says, well, he bought the company in, where's it at? I was just reading. 1889, St. Joseph, Missouri. In 1889, Chris Rutt chose Aunt Jemima. He founded the company in 1889 and made millions off of the image of a so-called black woman, aka the real American Aboriginal Indian sister, off of an image of a so-called indigenous sister, made millions to give her a false, fake, artificial construct of an image, perpetuating negative imagery, negative behavior, negative stereotypes of our indigenous women, but none of that money went to the so-called black community and still doesn't go to the so-called black community to help build, to help educate, to help employ, to help financially stabilize the so-called black. No, because they don't care. So again, it's all about what? Destroying the so-called black family, which is really the American Aboriginal family. And this is the reason why we don't have a family. The reason why there is no real so-called family, so-called black family, that represents a family in the so-called black community. Why? Because they have abandoned and they have been taken away their culture. Culture is what makes family. Culture is what builds family. Culture is what Revitalize family, culture. We're not Europeans, people. We're living like we're Europeans, but we're not Europeans, people. You feel me? So let me come on back over here. You feel me? Let me get on back over here. Back on over here. Bring my stuff back on. I'm back over here, people. So again, my goal of talking about this is making the connection that at one time, the American Aboriginal clan mother was the strongest, most powerful authority figure. She was the role model. She was the mentor. She was the pinnacle of honor, of wisdom, of love, of insight, of spirituality, of guidance, of making sure that the tribe, the women, the children, the elderly knew their roles and knew what they were supposed to do as American Aborigines in the community, in the tribe, and in the family. And as a result, we got chaos today. We got niggas today trying to do what? Walk and talk like Europeans. They don't think they're living like Europeans. Look, you got these celebrities. All they care about is their money. At one time, the Indian didn't give a damn about the European money. At one time, the American Aboriginal, the American Indian didn't give a damn about the white man's money. Now that's all we care about. So I'm not done, people. I got some more stuff I want to read, but you know what? I ran out of time. I didn't went over my time limit reading this information. But what I'm gonna do is I might just have to come back on this tomorrow, or come back on this maybe instead of doing every other Sunday. I'm gonna have to finish this coming Sunday because I got some more information proving that they created an image of our. Now, you know, sisters today say, you know what, that was way back then. That was way back then. You feel me? I want y'all to know I got my talking stick right here. You got some people that say that was way back then. You feel me? They were making women look bad way back then. But see, back then, what was it all about? What was it all about in the 1800s, in the 1900s? In the 18th century, in the 19th century, and in the 20th century, it was about systematically destroying the American Aboriginal image, the American Aboriginal culture, the American Aboriginal identity. Today, they don't have to do it today. Niggas want to be what the European want them to be. Niggas today want to be what the white man want them to be. They'll kill their own family members for money, pimp their sister, sell their mama, kill their brother, just to have in their hands temporarily some money with pictures of European slave masters on it. You feel me? So the only way this is going to change, people, is to revitalize the culture of the clan mother. That's what we have to do. We have to revitalize. It's going to take strong indigenous clan women to care about who they are. It's going to take strong indigenous clan women to care about cultural truth. It's going to take strong indigenous clan women to make sure they teach their children the indigenous truth of who they are, and to care about and love who they are, and to embrace who they are as American Indians, as American Aborigines. You feel me? But I got, you know, I don't have time right now because I'm out of time. But I got some more information I want look like this right here. Let me see. I want to read this right here. I want to read this right here. I mean, this is titled, check this out, people. First. Let me show y'all. I want to read this right here. Look, the myth of the black matriarch. I'm going to tell you something else I found quite strange. Let me see. Look, let me see. This book right here. Okay. Now, as I was saying, something I found quite odd. Let me show you something else right quick. Now look. Now this is Wikipedia. And as you notice, it says black matriarch, right? But if you see right here, I typed in here white matriarch. Now look if you type white matriarch, look what pops up. Look, the page white matriarch does not exist. Look, do you see that? Look. Look what it says. The page white matriarch does not exist. Okay, but if you go over here, there's a page called black matriarch. Now look what it says under black matriarch. Look what it says. All right, the first usage. The issue was first brought to national attention in 1965 by sociologist and late Democratic Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan. Okay, Patrick Moynihan. Excuse me. In the Moynihan Report, also known as the Negro Family, the case for national action, Moynihan's report made the argument that the relative absence of the nuclear family, what do you mean by the nuclear family? Thus having both father and mother present in Black America would greatly hinder further Black social economic progress. Do you feel me? Look, this right here. This is a program. This is a programming. How you figure a strong indigenous American Aboriginal woman can't raise children on her own. I want you to know our women have been doing it for hundreds of thousands of years, even before European colonization. The clan existed because of the mother. But you know what? You got brothers right now thinking today that a woman can't do nothing without them, and I want you to know that's a lie. You got these brothers today who still got this Eurocentric mindset, who still thinking like Pan-Africans and don't even know that they are, because they think a woman can't do nothing without them, and that's a lie. Because you know what? It was the clan existed, the nation existed, the nation thrived, and the nation continued to thrive before European colonization because of the clan mothers, not because of the men. Okay? So let me finish reading this. Now, let me look further degrading the image of the clan mother. When I say the clan mother, look, when you degrade a woman, every woman is a mother, or every woman is a potential mother. Why? If that's what she chooses to do. Okay? Look, the negativity. Some would disagree with the idea of a black matriarchy because they see the black matriarchy being used in a derogatory way. The author of the article, The Myth of the Black Matriarchy, argues that the black women were seen in a threatening way, and in their position in their family has resulted in the psychological castration of the black male and has produced a variety of other negative effects. These negative effects include low educational achievement, personality disorders, and juvenile delinquents. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Not only destroying the clan's mother's image, not only destroying the clan mother as a mother, but now destroying her mind and saying that she's destroying the minds of her family. You feel me? These Eurocentric people did this. Have they reversed that? Have they apologized for what they did in the 60s, in the 50s, in the 40s, in the 30s, in the 20s, in the early 20th century, in the late 19th century? No, they haven't. Have they tried to reverse this? Have they tried to repay for what their ancestors done to our people, and we still feel the effects of it today? In which we still live today, and we still reaping the benefits of this negative crap that they've done to our clan mothers, our women, how they raped our women, how they stole our women, how they enslaved our women. No, they haven't. So you know what? It's going to take us waking up us. So this is, I found this quite odd. Again, on Wikipedia, they have nothing on white matriarch, but they have a title called black matriarch. And it's all negative. It's all negative, people. Huh? Destroying the image of our clan women, our clan mothers. You feel me? Again, so I got to go, people. I will be back. Okay? I will be back. Dropping nothing but the raw and uncut here on the Black Village Roundtable Talks. I just had to share that. The importance of us encouraging our women, loving our women. You feel me? I'm not talking about being weak. I've been married to the same clan queen for over 20 years. You feel me? I have 7 sons and I have 2 daughters. And all my children are grown with the exception of 3 sons I got left at home. But all my kids are grown. Ain't none of my kids in jail. All my kids have graduated from high school. My oldest son got 2 degrees. You feel me? And graduated from the University of Merced. So my point being is that I'm telling you the only secret I know is encouraging my queen to be the best clan queen she can be. And for me to be the best clan American Aboriginal king I can be to her. You feel me? To be the best American Aboriginal father I can be. You feel me? And for me to follow the indigenous path and encourage her to do the same. We got to encourage, we got to cultivate, we got to foster American Aboriginal culture, principles, and values back into our family. And it's going to be the women that's going to flourish and make this thing grow. It's going to be the women to make this thing grow. But people, I got to go. I can't stay here like I want to, but I got to go. And I will definitely be back. I think I'll be back next Sunday. I'm not going to skip over the next week. I'm going to come back next Sunday. I want to deal with this thing again. I got some more information I got to read. I wasn't able to catch up on the reading like I wanted to this past week because, like I said, my son, I had a graduation barbecue for my son because one of my sons graduated from high school. And then my queen just went back to work. And so, man, I was busy. You feel me? Brother was busy. You feel me? I was busy. Then I got this right here I'm doing. I'm trying to keep my form updated and also keep myself updated with information and trying to learn as much as I can. You feel me? And it becomes very tiresome at times. You know what I mean? It's exhausting. But you do what you got to do when you love your people and you love yourself and you love the truth. You feel me? You do what you got to do. You feel me? So I'm going to keep doing what I got to do. So on that note, I'm going to end this podcast, and you can always join me. The phone number is toll-free, 857-232-0155. Again, the toll-free number to chime in and join me here on the Black Village Roundtable Talk is area code 857-232-0155. Conference key to get through the conference door and sit with me and join me live on this show is 947595. Again, conference key is 947595. Other than that, I gotta go, people. I will be back this coming Sunday. I'm not gonna skip over this coming Sunday. I'm gonna continue this subject matter because I got too much information I want to share and validate. I want to validate what? That the image that they were destroying when they were negatively for years throughout this country, perpetuating a negative image of our women, they were trying to destroy the image of the clan woman. They want to make sure that the spirit of the clan mother don't rise up again. But it's going to rise. The spirit of the clan mother will rise. It is rising now. It's speaking to everybody now as more and more so-called black folks, so-called Negroes wake up and realize that they're not black, that they're not Negro, that they are American Aborigines, that they are American Indians. That's the spirit and that's the voice of the clan mothers, of our clan, speaking, calling out to us. You feel me? Drawing us in. You feel me? So now it's just a matter of time for the women to catch on. Then we're gonna come together. We're gonna be back together as people. We're gonna be together as one. So on that note, I gotta go. So I will definitely be back. Dropping nothing but the raw and uncut. My name is JC, aka Afro Black. And you can always catch me also on Facebook, the Black Village on Facebook, and my events page on Facebook, the Black Village Roundtable Talks. You can catch me. Just type it in, the Black Village Roundtable Talks. You can find me on there as well. And you can always email me at MrBlackbones@gmail.com. Again, that is Mr. Blackbones, MrBlackBonez @gmail.com. You feel me? And other than that, I gotta go, people. So may the great mother bring us together under the joy and the love of her peace. And as always, I love chicken, so love, peace, and chicken grease. I gotta go. I'm outie. Bye. Peace. I'm out.